Hello guys, welcome to Net Experts. My name is Siddhanshu Kapoor. Today I'm going to start the 13th lecture of Microsoft Windows Server 2019 series. In the previous lecture, we learned about local storage in Server 2019. In this lecture, we are going to learn about enterprise storage in Server 2019. Let's start the session guys. Now we need to understand what is enterprise storage. Now we talk about the enterprise storage. Enterprise storage means the storage where we can use in a large companies, in a big organization, or the companies who have very huge amount of data, very huge amount of servers. Okay. So if we talk about the enterprise storage, so we have so if we talk about the enterprise storage, so we have a physical storage we have. Okay, like this. Like imagine this is my one of my physical storage. This is the rack, storage rack we have. I can call this is storage racks. In this rack we have, it's not racks, it's rack. So in this rack we have using so many hard disks. Like imagine in this rack we have, I can attach, imagine 4 to 5 hard disks like this. Okay, I can attach 4 hard disks, as you can see that. Like this is the rack, storage rack. And we have hard disks. Like I'm using SCSI hard disks. This is hard disk 0. It's called hard disk 1. It's called hard disk 2. It's called hard disk 3. Like this. Now all these hard disks are using SCSI. Okay. So all these hard disks use SCSI hard disks. I'm using a SCSI hard disk over there. So all the hard disks is used as SCSI hard disks. SCSI hard disks. Now every hard disk has a different value. As you can see that different space capacity. Now in that we have, like this is my 1 TB hard disk. Disk 1 I have 2. Disk 2 I have 1 TB again, and disk 3 also I have 2 TB. Like this. So total, if we count, we have total 6 TB of space in this rack, in this storage rack. We have total capacity of this storage rack is 6 TB. Like this. Fine. Now in enterprise storage we can use this kind of storages. Every server, like imagine if I have multiple servers like this, like one server is attached with this storage, as you can see that, like this. This is my server 1. And I can attach this server physically to this rack. Okay, with the help of fiber optic cables or something like this. Okay, we have a speed. Because we need speed. That's why we can use fiber optic cables as well in this. So so with the help of this server, I'm able to manage all the racks and provide the storage to other servers or clients like this. Okay, so this is the kind of storage we're using in our enterprise storage. In our enterprise storage, or you can say in our enterprise organizations, and we have big organizations where we have a big lot amount of data or huge amount of data. So over there, with the help of one server, we able to manage my full rack. With the help of one server, this server is able to manage all the rack and manage all the storage. That server is also known as a storage server, as you can see that. Storage server, or we have something other terms also, which I discussed in this video. Because I call it's known as storage server. Fine, so we have like this. Now, if we talk about the types of enterprise storage we are using in our organization, I open one paint once. Like imagine that if I talk about the types of enterprise storage, so we have 3 types of storage we mostly use in enterprise. Types of enterprise storage. So number one is we can known as DAS. DAS is known as direct attached network. Okay, in this what happens, every server has their own direct storage. Every server has their own storage, as you can see that. There is no centralized storage over there. So as you can see that, like if I have 4 servers in my network, so like imagine I have 4 servers like this. There is server 1, server 2, server 3. Imagine I have 3 servers. So I'll start with this. This is the server 1. This is my server 2. So this is my server 3. So I attach, you can say that this is the storage. Okay, so imagine that this is the storage. This is the storage. Okay, and this storage attached with my server 1 directly. And now you can see that server 2 has the separate storage, physical storage, and server 3 has this separate physical storage, like this. Like this. This is storage 2 and this is storage 3. And all the storage are physically attached with the servers, like this. So that is known as direct attached storage. Understand? I was showing you with the diagram, so like this, you will be able to understand these things, like this. Direct attached storage. So in that case, what we have the same thing. Every server is directly there. So like this is the server, and this server is directly attached with the NAS storage. And this also we have a server, and this is directly attached with the DAS, like this. So every server directly attached with their physical storage, as you can see that, like this. Understood? So that type of network is known as DAS. Now next we talk about SAN. The second network is known as, okay, I open another pane once. The second storage is known as NAS. Is known as network attached storage. So we talk about this. We have a centralized storage in this network, okay, and that storage directly attached with the SAN device, and that SAN device directly attached with the network, and we can able to access the that storage with the help of SAN device, like this. See, this is the actual diagram we have. SAN. Okay, so in this, what we have, like if I go for some big diagram, so let's go for like this. Okay, sorry. Okay, fine. So let's go for like this. Like if we talk about this in this, so what we have, like this, as you can see that this is my physical storage. This is my physical storage, and this storage directly attached with the NAS device. This is the NAS device, NAS server, as you can see that. You can call it known as NAS device. NAS device. Okay. Now with the help of this device, this storage is shareable. So my clients, as you can see that this is my Unix client, this is my Windows client, this is my Linux client. All these clients are able to access this storage with the help of NAS device. Now you can see that in this type of scenarios, what we have in this type of scenarios and NAS type of scenarios, my storage is shared, as you can see that. Shared to the, as you can see that it's shared. So everyone is able to access the storage, and everyone is able to save the data in the storage. So we can say that we have a centralized storage in this kind of network. We have a centralized storage in this kind of network. Understood? Like this we can go for that. So we have a centralized storage, as you can say that. So we have a shared storage and centralized storage. So all the systems are able to communicate or are able to access this storage with the help of network. So I attach my storage with the NAS device, and NAS device attached with the network. Okay, and these all client PCs are able to access this storage easily with the help of network or with the help of NAS, net device. Understood? Okay, so this is the basic example of NAS. Okay, so what are the advantage of what are the advantage? You can say that if you talk about the advantages of NAS is that we have a centralized storage over there. Okay, so number one, we have a centralized storage. These are the advantages, as you can see that advantages. Number one. Number two, all computers are able to access the storage through network. Okay, that is what we have, and it's very you can see that the third one we have, it is easy to manage. Okay, it is easy to manage, easy to troubleshoot also, because you have only one centralized storage, so we are able to manage easily. So it is easy to troubleshoot as well, like this. So this is the four advantages, as you can say that. Advantages of NAS network. Advantages of NAS, like this. Okay, if we talk about the DAS advantages, if we talk about the advantages of DAS over there, if we talk about the advantage of DAS is that, again, easy to, you can say that, install the storage. Every server has their own storage, so doesn't have issue that much to maintain the storage. As you can see that, easy to configure. Okay, number second, it has inexpensive solution, as you can see that. Inexpensive solution means we just simple attach the hard disk, external hard disk or internal hard disk in every servers. So that is the one you has a go for that. Now if we talk about the disadvantages of this is, what are the disadvantages of DAS? DAS is number one, less flexible. Less flexible means like you can say that like if I increase my server, so I need to increase the storage too, because every server has their own attached storage. That's why it's less flexible. We're not able to extend the network, means not able to extend the network. Understood? Like this, you can say that. Or you can say so like this, as you can see that these are the advantages and disadvantages of DAS. Now next we have talk about SAN. We already talk about NAS. Okay, now we talk about SAN. SAN, the full form is Storage Attached Network. If we talk about the SAN, so what is SAN? SAN also works on the physical storage, as you can see that. In SAN also we have one physical storage. So as you can see that, like if you have a physical storage, I'll show you the diagram. So again, like I'll copy that diagram. This is the diagram. So as you can see, okay, let's create the own one. So we have a physical storage like this. So again, we have a physical storage. Okay, and this is my physical storage rack. We have a storage rack. Storage rack. Now in that rack we have some hard disks attached like this. This is my hard disk 1 again, hard disk 2, hard disk 3, and hard disk 4. We have 4 hard disks. Same, I have like this HDD0, HDD1, HDD2, HDD3. Okay. Now in that, the size of the hard disk is like this: 1 TB, 2 TB, 1 TB. Imagine it like this. Okay. Now total we have how much? Total we have. Total we have 6 terabyte of capacity in the storage. Total capacity is 6 TB, like this. Okay. Now we have one server. This is my physical server, as you can see that. Okay, or virtual server, whatever server you can use. We have a server. With the help of this server, I'm able to manage this stack. This, with the help of the server, with the help of coaxial cables, as you can see that. We're using over there, sorry, fiber optic cables, not coaxial one. I'm using over there fiber optic cables. Fiber optic cables, we can attach this storage with the server. Fine. Now imagine that under that we have some more servers which is running. Like we have over there, we have some servers are running. Let's change it colors. Like imagine we have some servers are running. Okay, so like this we have the servers is running. So you can say that this is server 2 and we call it the application server. And then we have server 3, we call it file server. File server is who maintain your data, who maintains the files, folders and all. Application server is who maintain the applications. Okay. Now next we have a server 4. We have, like imagine this is my DHCP server who provide the IP addresses. And we have a server 5 also. We have a database, you can see that. It's a database server. I'm using database, as you can see that. Okay, you can use SQL. I'm using SQL database over there. Again, these all servers are attached with the network, and we have all network connections and everything is there now. Okay, now what happens in SAN? What SAN goes for that? Like SAN works on LUNs. Number 1, SAN works on LUNs. LUNs means logical unit numbers. Logical unit number. This is known as LUNs. Okay, so logical unit number, LUNs. So what is LUNs in that case? I tell you. So what happens in that case? Like imagine now. Imagine that server 2 needs 1 terabyte of space, 1 TB of space, because it maintains all the applications. So what server 1 do? Server 1 now working as a SAN server. This server is working as a SAN server now. Okay. For SAN server, what I need to do? I need to install 2 services in this. The services name is, I need to install only 1 service, not 2. Only 1 services. The services name is iSCSI target server. This is the service. If I need to make this server as a SAN server, so what I need to do? I need to install this services. iSCSI. iSCSI is what? iSCSI is a protocol. Okay. Once I use SAN network, so in that we use this services to install in server 1, and that iSCSI is a protocol. Okay. So now what happens in that case? Now this is my SAN server. So with the help of SAN, what I do? I divide this space all these servers now. Like imagine server 2 needs 1 terabyte out of 6. So what I do? I provide 1 terabyte over there. Okay. I provide how much? 1 TB over there, okay, with the help of SAN server, and that space is provided by as a virtual space, and that space is also known as LUNs. That space is also known as the space which I provide 1 TB. That space is also known as, and that is known as LUNs. As you can see that is known as LUNs. So your SAN works on LUNs. This is known as LUN. Understood? Like imagine now same thing. My file server needs imagine that 1 terabyte again. So with the help of SAN server, I provide 1 terabyte to my server 3. Over there we can use 1 TB. Okay. I provide, you can say that 500 GB to my DHCP server as well, and I provide 2 TB, okay, to my database because it maintains the huge amount of data, so I give 2 TB over there, like this. So these spaces which I provided, it's a virtual space, as you can say that. So with the help of SAN server, I can provide this virtual space to all the servers, okay, and it uses that servers that spaces and save all the data, okay. So that spaces is known as LUNs. The space which I provide over there is, this is known as, these all spaces is known as LUNs. Understood? So like this SAN works. Okay, so when you going to go to failover clustering, or when you're going to do any clustering, so in that case we need this kind of network. We need LUNs to maintain clustering or to configure clustering, as you can see that failover clustering especially. We need LUNs for this, or we need SAN server actually, the complete SAN server. Like this. This is the diagram, as you can see that SAN server. Understood? So we have 3 types of enterprise storage. Number 1 is DAS, number second is NAS, and number 3rd is SAN. So we can use this kind of things. Okay, so SAN only provides you LUNs in only in servers. I'm not talking about the client machines. I'm talking about the server machines only. So if you have virtual servers, if you have physical servers, you can use SAN in that case. Any server you have. Okay, but that we need one physical space. We need one storage. Okay, we need fiber optic cables or channels to connect the storage to the server, the SAN server, and we need iSCSI target server feature to install the SAN. So I told you that in server 2012 there is no iSCSI. In server 2008 maybe in server 2008 there is no iSCSI server is installed, or there is no iSCSI target server feature is there on the operating system 2008. So what I need to do in 2008, I need to download it first, this feature, and then I am going to install it. Okay, but 2012 onwards now Microsoft gives you this role. It's inbuilt in the operating system. You need to just install it, simple, with the help of roles and features. With the help of server manager, I am going to install this feature on the server, and that server is becoming a SAN. Understood? So these are the 3 types of storage we always use in enterprise. I'll show you practical in my next video. That's it for this video, guys. Thank you for watching.